Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa. Good morning, Ibadan. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. Today is the 31st day in the month of July, 2025, and you're watching Daybreak Live right here on Dominion Television. I am Pat Aitu.
And I am Samson Balogun.
Good morning, Samson.
Good morning to you.
Whoa, high five.
Good to have you. Good to have you on the show again.
Okay.
And of course, as always, it's a pleasure to start your morning with energy, warmth, and the right dose of news and conversation that matter. Pat, have you seen so many things going on around the world lately?
Well, not around the world, I think Ibadan, because I'm not looking at the weather now, but I'm actually looking at the heaps of refuse being dumped out the median.
Along the road. I mean, the median of roads.
Yeah, because I keep on asking, I asked myself a question, are they on strike like the nurses?
But that's a very, very big question there.
Okay. Well, yeah, according to this morning forecast, Ibadan is waking up to partly cloudy skies with some early morning sunshine. Temperatures are expected to peak at around 30 degrees Celsius, with a light breeze keeping things cool. Over in Abuja, it's a bit more humid. Expect some afternoon showers, so you might want to take your umbrella.
I'm talking about umbrella. You need to be handy.
I have one here.
Keep it in your bag.
I have one here.
And for our viewers in Lagos, brace up. It's going to be a mix of clouds and sunshine, with possible light rain later in the evening. If you're asking about Port Harcourt, it's the same story. Mild thunderstorms in the forecast. So, wherever you are this morning, we hope you are stepping out with a smile and maybe some backup rain gear, just in case it rains.
Always better to be safe than soaked right. Now, as we ease into today's show, a lot is brewing around the country, especially in the politics space. I mean, political space. Nigeria never sleeps when it comes to drama, debates, and shifting loyalties.
Absolutely right. And for the big story, the big headlines grabbing attention this Thursday is all about the cracks within the ruling party, the APC. It's no longer subtle. It's open tug of war for control, power, and survival. So who's in and who's out? Those are the questions we'll be asking today. And who's really calling the shots as we inch closer to the election cycle? Well,
it's a storming road ahead, and joining us to dissect it all today is no other than Ayo Afolabi, stalwart of the APC. He will be sharing some deep insight into the internal dynamics of the party, power struggles, silent battles, and what the future might hold for the APC as a political force.
Well, you definitely want to stick around for that. But beyond politics, we'll also be keeping tabs on current affairs that are shaping the lives of everyday Nigerians, from social movements to economic pulse checks and what's trending online. Yeah.
So go ahead, grab that cup of tea or coffee, settle in, and let's roll into a morning of meaningful conversation, spirited debate, and all the right updates to start your day informed. It's Daybreak Live on Dominion Television, and we're just getting started.
Absolutely right.
Good morning, Samson. Once again.
Good morning to you once again.
How are you?
Good to be here. I'm fine.
Mr. Michael, behind the camera, Mr. Michael was saying something, and we're like, no, now we're energized to start today. I mean, to start a beautiful Thursday like this, because it's old school Thursday at Samson Wallace.
Of course, you know, it's my favorite day. But of course, you can keep the conversation going. Link up with us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast, and on X, formerly Twitter, at Dominion Cast. You can also watch us live on our website, www.dominion.org.ng, dominion.org.ng. So, welcome once again. And have you seen Reno Mokri's comments on social media that has, generated a lot of backlash?
Well, I saw.
And also, some people credited him for that, for shaking the table, confronting and maybe in one way or the other, trying to push a narrative that challenges the status quo.
Well, I saw the controversies. I mean, the lots said where he was saying Lagos was never Nigeria's capital. It's can name, rename, and name anything as it pleases. But then I think that is coming out because of the protests. Some people protested as regards the changing of some places in Lagos. And of course, I watched an interview where Oputa, I mean Charles Oputa, popularly known as Charlie Boy, was actually talking about it. That see, I am not protesting like you named Charlie Boy bus stop to Lamide Bado bus stop. That is not what is happening right now in Nigeria. We're actually facing a lot. So we need to hit that. We need to tell our government that what you're actually doing to us, we the citizen, is actually nothing but you're bringing hardship on us. Well, be that as may be, for Reno Omokri to be coming, I mean, from time immemorial in our history, people will always tell you that Calabar was the Calabar was the first capital of Nigeria, and Lagos, and before it was moved in December 12, 1991 to Abuja. To me, why is it coming out now? Do we still have people that knows about this?
I think because history was...
And for me, hold on please, and for me, you can't take that away from me. If I get to an examination hall and they said which state was a capital of Nigeria after Calabar, I'll still pick Lagos. So why is it coming with these controversies and want to statement that Lagos is not a capital of Nigeria? Instead, it was just in Lagos Island, and where we have some streets or some roads were named after the likes of the Ahmadu Bello and Uzumba Mbadiwe.
So the truth of the matter is, because history was removed from, the curriculum in schools, I think that was the beginning of the disaster we are beginning to witness. I think every Nigerian born or yet to be born, deserve that right to actually know exactly what happened in Nigeria in times past. So it's a challenge, and Reno Omokri has come out to challenge its status quo. For him to have come out this way, it means that he has reasons, he has evidences, and he has facts. And if he can actually prove that to a reasonable doubt, I think so many people will they will definitely buy whatever it is he's saying. And according to him, the administrative capital of Nigeria until 1991 was limited to designated districts in Lagos, and that's where you were talking about where some places were named after
the Northern Ahmadu Bello and Uzumba Mbadiwe
and the host of other people. So it's not I think the fact that he's coming to say this now is probably trying to shed light on some things that people do not know, that is not well known to some people. And I feel like as much as people want to criticize Reno Omokri for always coming out to shake the table, they should also always understand the fact that sometimes when he talks, there are things you get to take out of him and say, oh, these are things that are actually true. So do your fact check. If it is right. He also argued that as a state, Lagos constitutional authority to prioritize its own culture, including renaming streets, and that dissenters who dislike this can relocate elsewhere in Nigeria. I think I do not buy that. Because it's true, local government authorities can actually name or probably just remove all the names on the street and say, oh, they want them to remain that way. But the truth of the matter is, you can say because some people are angry, they do not like the way some names are changed, they should leave Lagos. Well, we are all Nigerians, and according to the Nigerian Constitution, every Nigerian has a reason, or probably they have the right to move from one state to the other without being challenged or harassed. So they can actually relocate from one state to another. And if they feel marginalized, if they feel challenged in one way or the other, I think they have the right to actually come out. I think it was one of the roads that was renamed, Ilaje Road. There was a protest there yesterday, and the chairman, the newly elected local government chairman, came out to say, look, do not worry, I will revisit this and then probably change it back to Ilaje Road. So since you do not want the current name we have given to you, so it's something I feel like it can actually be addressed. But Reno knows exactly why he's doing this. And of course, now, in summary, the narrative he tried to push was Lagos State as a whole was never the federal capital. So that is one. Two, only specific zones within Lagos Island served as
Lagos Island.
Now, the brother believed that Lagos State belonged to no one or should mirror every part of Nigeria's cultural diversity is, in his view, historically inaccurate. So, meaning that if you think Lagos is no man's land, Lagos actually belongs to some people.
Some people.
So you cannot come and say, look, this land belongs to all of us, regardless of if you have properties there. You met people there,
people still own
and that
the
place
land.
Actually belongs to some people. People still own that place. So it's trying to push a narrative of the fact that there have been claims in recent times that Lagos is no man's land. But even I do not believe that. I do not want to believe that, and I don't think anyone should push that narrative.
Well, to me,
but the truth of the matter is, every Nigerian has a right to move from one state to another
Nobody's
and live there without being challenged.
All right. Well, of course, one thing I just want our scholars, the elites, the scholars, those ones that know about this, should come out to just talk about it, and not for us to be hearing from Reno Omokri. And of course, so many things that happened, and the protest, like the local government chairman said, is going to revisit it. We're expecting and we want a good result to come out of it. If you want to douse the tension of the protesters, maybe you rename it to what they know as before, or you want them to like, oh, let's give it another facelift, and that's why we're having the renaming. Yeah. It's okay. No problem about that. But always know that you can join us via our website on www.dominion.org.ng and follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast, and on X at DominionCast. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Ever dreamed of creating the next virus series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class. It's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV, make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
A very good morning to you. Welcome to Daybreak News on Dominion Television. I am Pat Aito. The Minister of Transportation, Ahmed Akali, has disclosed that the federal government has given assurances to the citizens of Kano assurances that the Kaduna-Kano standard gauge rail line will be completed by next year. Speaking at an event in Kaduna, the minister revealed that at the inception of the Tinubu administration on May 29th, 2023, the project stood at 15% completion. However, significant progress has been made with the project reaching 53% completion. The House of Representatives Committee on China-Nigeria Parliamentary Relations has launched an investigation into a viral video showing some Nigerians in the Central African Republic, CAR, alleging abandonment and passport seizure by a Nigerian businessman purportedly linked to a Chinese company. It will be recalled that in the widely circulated video, the affected Nigerians expressed their grievances, claiming they were hired by a purported Chinese company in Nigeria, only to be taken to the CAR, where they were left without pay and had their international passport withheld. However, in a statement by the committee's chairman, Honorable Jafari Yakubu, the committee assured that a thorough investigation will be conducted to uncover the truth behind the allegations. The committee clarified that Abdurrauf Ademola, the businessman accused in the video, has refuted the allegations of passport seizure, unpaid salaries, and abandonment, stressing that he is not affiliated with the Chinese Embassy or the China General Chamber of Commerce. The Oyo State government has debunked allegations that it had replaced the car park at the Bolaige International Business Complex, popularly known as Gbagi Market, with new shops and extorted money from unsuspected traders overnight. The The State Commissioner for Investment, Trade, Cooperatives and Industry, Adeni Adebisi, disclosed this in a statement by the State Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Prince Dotun Yelade, in Ibadan, the state capital. Adebisi explained that the Gbagi market's redevelopment effort is being spearheaded in phases by state government under the supervision of the ministry, in close partnership with the market leadership and representatives of zonal traders associations. The commissioner said the portion of the land being referred to was an official car park, but an underutilized area prone to illegal vending and security risk. Meanwhile, the Oyo State government has restated its commitment to mitigating the impact of inflation on residents as it reviews its fiscal performance for the first half of 2025. This assurance was given by the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Professor Musiba Babatunde, during the 2025 half-year budget performance evaluation forum held at the State Secretariat Agodi Ibadan. According to the Professor, the state has achieved over 50% implementation of its 2025 budget, attributing the progress in part of increased federal allocations. Also speaking at the event, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Adenike Fashina, provided updates on Oyo State financial health, disclosing that the state debt profile stood at 168 billion naira, comprising both local and foreign loans as of the last quarter of 2024. However, she noted an improvement in internally generated revenue, IGR, while calling for a timely release of federal allocations to ensure greater transparency and accountability in the state's financial management. The forum was part of the ongoing efforts by the state government to ensure open governance, fiscal discipline, and sustainable development. Nurses at the University College Hospital, UCH Ibadan, have joined the ongoing national strike declared by the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives and NAM, disrupting services at the facility. The strike, which began 29th of July, follows a lapsed 15-day ultimatum that was given to the federal government over unresolved issues, including the implementation of the 2016 Nurses Scheme of Service, improved pay, and increasing staffing. UCH NAM chairperson Fumilayo Faminu said that the chapter unanimously backed the action after failed talks with the government. With no resolution inside, healthcare services remain strained, raising concern over the impact on patient care across the country. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, has issued a warning to traders across Lagos State to cease artificial price inflation and ensure the authenticity and safety of their goods. The Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of FCCPC, Tunde Bello, gave the directive at a market engagement forum organized by the Commission in Lagos. Bello said that findings from recent FCCPC operations included the discovery of expired rice rebagged and sold as premium brands at Daliko Market. He reminded all businesses, irrespective of their skill or operational setting, that they are subject to the provisions of this law. And in business, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has said it will not sell the Port Harcourt refining company and is working to fix the refinery and keep it. The announcement was made by Bayo Julare, the group Chief Executive Officer of the NNPCL Limited, at the meeting in Abuja. NNPCL said selling the refinery would be a bad idea, as the company is looking closely at the Port Harcourt, Kaduna and Warri refineries to make sure that they are working well. And in sports, the 2025 Waffle B Women's Competitions League draw ceremony has been postponed to a new date. The draw ceremony, initially scheduled for Tuesday the 29th of July, will now be held on Tuesday the 5th of August. The competition will serve as a qualifier for the 2025 CAF Women's Champions League. Côte d'Ivoire will host the annual competition for the second consecutive year. Remember, you can visit our website www.dominion.org.ng and follow us across our social media platforms of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast, and on X at Dominioncast. And that is the Daybreak News. Thank you so much for watching. I am Pat Aito. Good morning.
Ever dreamed of creating the next virus series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class. It's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV. Make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
All right, it's still Daybreak live on Dominion Television. We'll welcome you to newspaper headlines and analysis. Well, I'll be taking you through what the papers are saying this morning, and starting with this day. This day is coming with this one. Bagudu, revenue allocation to North improve under Tinubu, President fair to all. You remember that there were lots of things happening yesterday when some Northerners were saying that they're being marginalized under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, now Bagudu is saying, Bagudu is the Minister of Planning, member of the planning, saying that, oh, revenue allocation to North improved under Tinubu. That's a President fair to all. Which has the three riders, says net distribution to subnational rose to 991 1 billion naira in June from 458 billion naira in May 2023. And of course, we have this one. Revenue to North Central jumps 145%, and North East by 149%, and then Northwest by 143%. And the last rider there says participants at SAMBF engaged land Lord Tinubu seek action on education and infrastructure. And from this day, we have this presidency. Former ADC chair claim of being offered 3 ministerial slots falls unfounded. And we have a rider who also fails to provide any evidence to support wild claim. And you want to read more, get a copy of This Day. And away from This Day, we head straight to Daily Trust. Daily Trust is coming with this big one, that's insecurity. Bandits, a renewed rampage in Katsina. Villagers evicted, forced into peace deal. That's at page 14 of the Daily Trust. And still from the Daily Trust, we have the economic side. We have NNPCL says refineries not for sale. And also security issue here. Troops kill 9 Boko Haram terrorists in Borno. And politics 2027, North has no reason not to support Tinubu's re-election. Arewa think tank is talking there. And down below Daily Trust, we have this. Nurses strike. Patients stranded at hospitals nationwide. Still from Daily Trust, well, you want to read, get a copy of Daily Trust and read. Well, away from Daily Trust, we head straight to The Nation. The Nation is coming with us one. Tinubu performance impressive in key areas, say Northern leaders. Pictures of so many things, Mr. President, done there. And we have Ghana Buni is working, that's Yobe. We have so much launching of the 2025 Yobe State Agricultural Empowerment and program by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, represented by the Senior Special Assistant Political and Other Matters. That's Honorable Kabiru Ibrahim Masari in Damaturu. That's a lot happening there. Away from The Nation, we head straight to the Nigerian Tribune. NNPCL rules out sale of Port Harcourt refinery, and that's on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. And we have 2 riders there. Petron rejects plan not to privatize refinery, and the last rider there, 6 arrested over vandalization of Warri Kaduna crude oil pipeline in Edo. Page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune has that story. And of course, up of that paper, we have Bagudu Tinubu has been faithful to the North, says President fair to all. And beside it, we have not called for equitable distribution of resources to address regional imbalance. And that's on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. And down below it, we'll still have similar stories talking about the nurses strike. Nurses strike grounds hospital, and we have 2 riders there. Hospital rejects patient for admission. Federal government appeals to nurses, midwives, and that's on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. We have this one too. Benue IDPs protest over 1 billion donation by Tinubu's wife. That's on page 25. Why protest over wife of Tinubu's? Madam, wife of President, talking about Oluremi Tinubu. Why protest over it? There's Benue IDP's protest over 1 billion naira donation by Tinubu's wife. Away from the Nigerian Tribune, we head straight to The Punch. The Punch has this one. Federal government eyes 796 billion naira annually from 5% petrol surcharge. And the rider there, consumers decry new fuel tax after subsidy removal as law commences 1st of January 2026. Port Harcourt Refinery, not for sale, and NPCL talking there. That's on page 31 of the Punch. And we have varsity students to face drug test, says Education Minister Tunji Alausa is there talking that varsity students to face drug test, says Education Minister. That's on page 7 of the Punch. Down below page, the Punch, we have Abiodun welcomes former PDP chair, others to Ogun APC. That's on page 25 as well of the Punch. We have gunmen stab Ogun businessman to death, and that's on page 5, Imanango story, page 5 of the Punch. And beside it, we have kings must respect ancestral burial rights or quit throne. Wande Abimbola, a professor at the University of Obafemi Awolowo University of Ile-Ife. Well, still from the Punch, we have patient groans as nurses strike grounds hospital nationwide. And beside it, we have Reps probe Nigeria minors abuse claim in CAR. That's video has been going viral, and that's on page 7 of the Punch. Well, away from the Punch, we have this one, the last one from the Platform Times. And we have trafficking syndicates rake in $245 billion yearly. Federal government raises alarm on rising exploitation. And NAPTIP rescues 25,642 victims, secures 750 convictions. That's on a Platform Times. A lot of stories there, but then we need to head straight to analysis, as our guest is right here in the studio. But then pick a copy of any paper, any newspaper that resonates with you this morning and read through. We'll still be back on the show. It's still Daybreak Live on Dominion Television, and of course newspaper headlines and analysis. Stay with us, don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. It's still Daybreak Live, and of course, the newspaper headlines and analysis segment, that's where we are. Joining me to do this is Mr. Leko Shobowale. Leko Shobowale is a public affairs analyst and, of course, a journalist. Good morning.
Good morning, Paz. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you too? That
God.
voice is low somehow.
Oh, maybe because of the weather.
So you're feeling the weather. All right, a lot has been happening from our national dailies, and we have this one coming from the Punch. Patient groans as nurses strike grounds hospital nationwide. And before you react to that, do we have to get to this point before our government listen to? I mean, do we have to go on strike before they listen to us?
Well, I don't think it is necessary for our workers to go on strike, especially the medical workers. You know, they are so important in our country, and but I think whenever governments, be it federal government or state government, decided not to yield to their calls or their demands, you know, strike is always the last resort that can be used by the labor, by the Nigerian workers.
14-day ultimatum was actually given to them. Why can't the government negotiate with them?
Well, it has been the practice of government, from time immemorial, not just now, that unless workers go on strike, whether
That's
federal
when they will
government
take
or
them
state
serious.
government, they don't always take them serious. It is after the strike or during the strike that because you can remember just 2 weeks ago, the workers in Ogun State also embarked on strike, after waiting for almost 8 years, and no government is looking at their side. But they went on strike 2 weeks ago, and 2 or 3 days after, the state government invited them for a meeting, and in less than 2 weeks, they are back to work. So it's like this issue of strike is working for Nigerian workers, and if you consider the role being played by our nurses, they are so critical. It's just like you are saying that Nigerian police officers or Nigerian army should go on strike. They are so important.
They protested which day?
Yes, the Nigerian police force. Yes,
the retired ones.
The government has pushed them to the wall. That is a discussion for another day, because there are so many very sad, hidden things about this Nigerian police force issue. But going back to the issue of nurses, 15 days. One would have expected that the government would have at least acceded to their demands, and their demands are not that. They are asking for a separate salary structure, which I think, because of their side, because of the critical nature of their work, they should be adequately compensated, just like other professionals, and they are asking that federal government should establish nursing department in the Federal Ministry of Health, which I think is not too much. There is nothing, I don't see it as a big deal for federal government to establish a separate department. It's just a department. They are not calling for a ministry. So what's the difference? If that is what they want, if that is what that will make them happy, why can't they just create or establish for them a nursing department? Federal Ministry of Health, Abuja is a very big building. Why can't they just find a room or a space and establish a nursing department there?
Well, let's look at how does this strike affect the challenges we are facing, in Nigeria concerning this healthcare system. What are the challenges the strike?
The challenges even now, it's not as if we are right there, in terms of medical attention for Nigerians. But the strike is just like adding salt to injury. You understand? We are having issues in our health sector, and nurses going on strike now. You visited UCH yesterday, then you observe what is going on there. UCH is having its own problem already. It's just being resolved gradually. Now, joining the issue of strike to the problem of UCH, to other health institutions in the state, it's like, you are not even. The government should always consider its citizens, because you cannot tell nurses not to go on strike because they are fighting for their rights. So it is not good for our medical sector, It is not good for Nigerians, As you said yesterday, so many patients were turned back, and you never can tell, someone at the point of death, you are not turning that person back. You can imagine what will have happened between now.
Only emergency and skeletal services.
If you understand, not even
available.
Not even all the emergencies. Even when they are not on strike, when sometimes you say you turn back some emergency, they will tell you they don't have space. You understand? So now that they are on strike, you can imagine, and not everybody can pay for the private health institutions. So I think it is important for government to call these striking nurses and possibly see what they can do in order for them to call off the strike. It's not too good.
Well, let's just compare the current state of nurse compensation in Nigeria and some other countries. How would you compare?
You cannot. It is incomparable.
Why?
Yes, because just a very simple example is, why is our medical practitioners, the nurses, the doctors, why are they leaving the country? They are the ones that started this Japa syndrome. There was a report, I think, a year or 2 years ago, that a particular correspondent or reporter visited an embassy, one of the embassies in Lagos, and you come and look at the numbers of health practitioners, medical, that want to get out of the country. In terms of payments, Nigeria is not there. In terms of payments for its medical and health workers, Nigeria is not there. Even the conducive environment. We are talking about usage now. Go to other public health institutions. In Oyo State, we have Adeoyo. We have Yemetu and Ringo. Go there. You have Oni and Sons. Go there. Go and see what is happening there. Of course, government of the day is trying. They are not saying they are not trying, but they can still do better. Now that they are having excesses in their allocations, I think, governments, state governments and local governments, most times they've not been paying attention to the issue of health, the medical sector, in their various. I think there is a need for government to take a look, like in Oyo State, the governor will tell us that, he's building, he's constructing, he's establishing primary health care center. If our primary health care centers are active, we have almost 236 or thereabouts wards in Oyo State. Each ward is supposed to have one primary health care center. So when you have primary health care center in a ward,
that is well equipped
with trained personnel, professionals, the attention will easily be, the residents and the dwellers can shift their attention from usage, from Adeoyo, to the primary care center. So how you define a primary care center than where you get there? Of course, I witnessed like one or two like that, as a reporter. So how will you describe a situation whereby you get to primary care center and they are asking you to go and buy paracetamol, they are asking you to go and buy Panadol, they are giving excuses, and they are telling you to go and pay all those stuff. It is not too good. And I think, there is a need for government to pay more attention to, so that most of our traditional will not just be leaving Nigeria to see greener pasture. But take, for instance, 3 weeks ago, at the passage of our former President, late President Muhammadu Buhari, there was a report that even those nurses that were taking care of him at United Kingdom, at London Hospital, they were Nigerians. So I think there is a need for our people, Nigerians outside the shores of the country, they are doing exploits. The doctors, the nurses, they are performing very well. So it's just for our government to just look at this health sector and do the best they can do. This is not the best the government, either the federal government or the state government, can do when it comes to the issue of our health sector.
Well, let's see how it turns out, because the federal government will hold talks with high-level is going to hold high-level meeting with the nurses on Friday. So let's see how it unfolds. Well, away from that, let's look at this one economic side. Federal government eyes 796 billion naira annually from 5% petrol surcharge. And consumers would decry new fuel tax after subsidy removal as law commences January 2026. You were here last week, Thursday, and you were talking about the laws and said, oh, they are good. Now, 5% to be surcharged on every citizens that buy petrols.
One of the other side, the negative side of these tax administration law is, all this what we are seeing now. But I think the federal government is holding the axe, and I think there is a need for them to be reasonable, humanly reasonable enough to, talking about, you are talking about 5 surcharge on locally made petrol and imported. But of course, you want to tax the companies. You want the companies to pay. But at the end of the day, the pains, everybody, all business owners, businessmen and women, they're in business to make profits. So you cannot expect that after charging them 5%, so you're expecting them to go to their houses to go and be smiling. They will still come back to the consumers. In the last 2-3 days, they are saying that NNPC are reducing fuel prices and all those stuff, and but with this, all these 5%.
Well, it's not happening very soon. It's happening in January 2026.
Even before now, we have seen Dangote Dangote refineries, reducing their petrol prices and thereby forcing other, marketers to also. But with this 5% of, I don't think it is not too good. Not even now, when Nigerians are still complaining of some of the policies of the federal government that are bringing, about some stuff of hardship. So I think our federal government needs to, at least for now, put a hold on this.
Well, we know that it's going to increase inflation. How would low earner cope in this?
Yes, if you are saying that, the civil servants, they are the ones that pay tax the most, but now the tax has been reduced for civil servants. But at the same time, what I'm saying that the implication of this will still go back, will still fall on the ordinary citizens of the country. You understand? Because all of us will use petrol. Even those that don't have cars, they go on public transport. They put it on their generator. You understand? So, for me, I don't think it is no for me. It is not right. I think the federal government should just, no matter the policies, no matter the argument, I think the federal government should, at least for now, put a hold on this. Let some of the policies of the federal government, they are still not yielding fruit, at least for now. Let Nigerians, at least, let us breathe. Don't kill Nigerians.
All right, we've been ruling for investors. Now, how might this surcharge impact Nigerians' attractiveness to foreign investors?
Yes, even local investors, they are commending President Bola Ahmed Tinubu because of some of his policies. See, you are not president for investors. You are not president of investors. You are not president of Manufacturers of Nigeria. You are president of Nigerians. All these things that we are discussing, how will it have, what will be the positive impact on those people that are living in the rural areas? It's our focus will not always be on, data is good, statistics is good, but sometimes you have to be practical. Nigerians elected President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, not investors. Sometimes it is not always good for governments or administration to be investors friendly government. It should be Nigerians friendly government. You understand what I'm saying now? Nigerians voted for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yes, it is good to bring in investors, for our own employees to have jobs, to be employed and all those stuff. But see, Nigerians come first. All these investors, all this data, all these statistics, all this inflation, all these parts. Someone that lives at Adebayo, I don't know if you know Adebayo. Someone that lives at Adebayo around Idianyure. You ask the person inflation. What does that person understand by inflation? If you understand, the policies of the government should not be for investors. It should be for ordinary Nigerians that does not understand data, that does not understand all what you understand is I need money to pay for my children's tuition fee. I have it. I want to go out. I want to eat. Nigerian government, we need to demystify all these data, all these statistics, all these investor-friendly policies. Let's federal government policies be Nigerians, friendly policy. That is the most important thing. By the time you come with all this data, all these investors, all this inflation, ordinary Nigerians don't understand all these things. It's only you have 5% of how many investors lives in Nigeria. You don't understand. So it is we Nigerians that are living here. So whatever policy that you want to put in place, let it be a policy that will suit, you understand, those that are living here. Not the investors that will come from South Africa, that will come from Germany or United Kingdom or United States. They will invest, they will make their profit and go away.
Well, as federal government is trying to 796 billion naira for 5% petrol surcharge. Well, another story is coming from NNPCL saying that NNPCL rules out sale of Port Harcourt refinery. With 2 riders, Petron rejects plans to privatize refinery and 6 arrested over vandalization of Warri Kaduna crude oil pipeline in Edo State. What specific factor led to that rule out?
Seriously, the issue of Nigerian refineries, I don't know. It is only, maybe it's only the president that can come out and tell us, you know, the 2 states.
The president is not. The president is not the minister of petroleum.
But we don't have.
We have somebody that is being.
We have a minister of
being the CEO of that.
See, the CEO will take. The president is the chief executive officer of Nigeria. He takes decisions. You don't understand. The CEO of NNPC is just an appointee. He's an appointee of the president now. The president appointed Bayo Ojulari as the CEO of NNPCL. You understand? So I think it is, you know, things like this always leaves people in a state of confusion. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo many years ago said Nigerian refineries can never work again. But when President Bola Tinubu came in 2020, he said he's going to, you know,
at some point they were telling us that the refineries were working. And
that's what they told us then now. But now, Dangote is saying that Nigerian refineries cannot work. Bayo Ojulari, the man in charge, the president is not, you know, he's not in charge. Of course, he's the president.
Who are we to believe in all this?
We can only believe in one person, and that is the president of the country. The president should come out and tell us what is happening in Nigerian refineries. You know, sometimes they say Port Harcourt refinery is working, they are producing petroleum and all those stuff. But now, the NNPCL, the man in charge, is saying that it cannot work. And this is only confirming. You know, it is so sad, you know, because when former President Obasanjo was saying it 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, so many people were pessimistic that it's like this man does not know what he's saying and all those stuff, you know, he's an old man and all this. But now, what he said then is now coming to reality.
Well, could you, Liko, let's look at it this way. Could this ruling out of sales of Port Harcourt refinery be a cover-up for the 210 trillion naira that the House of Rep were telling the NNPCL to come and explain? Would this be a cover-up for it?
In the last few weeks, they have been inviting the man, Bayo Ojulari, to come to the House of Reps. I don't know for how long he'll be running for House of Reps. He has not been able to show up. I'm telling you sincerely, personally, because I don't want to say what I'm not too sure of. Seriously, I don't know what is. And I just like, I'm in a state of confusion as regards the issue of NNPCL. And I believe so many Nigerians.
Confusion, why?
Confusion as in, you know, you are telling us that NNPC, almost a year ago, you were jubilating. They threw up a party. It's all over social media saying that Port Harcourt refinery is now working, it's producing. So we are all jubilating, hoping for the best, that even the fuel that we now buy.
Even if it is a Tuntele is coming out from that.
You understand that at least there is hope, there is future for Nigeria. All of a sudden, we just heard last month that Bayo Ojulari was saying that the federal government may consider selling off the refineries that you spend so much money on. So it is important for Bayo Ojulari to come out and explain to Nigerians. Of course, it was during the time of Mele Kyari that the refineries were rehabilitated and all the stuff. And I don't know where Mele Kyari is now, but at least there should always be records. You know, Bayo Ojulari cannot be prosecuted for the sins he has not committed. But he's the man in charge now. He should just come out and explain to us. And if he cannot explain to us, maybe President Tinubu can invite him and ask him, or President Tinubu can also, as the president, can call for the fight. It is not President Tinubu that he approved, you know, he approved the money for the rehabilitation. You understand? But he's not the one in charge, he's not the engineer, he's not the consultant, he's not the all those stuff. So maybe President Tinubu, as the president of Nigeria, as the leader of this country, can call those in charge of NNPC to come and explain to him And President Tinubu should now come out and explain to Nigerians.
Well, before I let you go this morning, let's quickly look at politics. Well, yesterday in paper was saying that some northern governors were saying that under this administration they have been marginalized. But now we're saying from this day, we have Bagodo saying revenue allocation to North improved under Tinubu. President fair to all. Where is this word marginalization coming, and why are we having why are we having those statements from the northerners? I mean, at this point.
But for northerners, you know, governance is their occupation. You know, they like.
Which occupation is that?
That is what they do. That is they always, you know, northerners, they. If you have ever been to the northern side of the country, that is what they do. In Abuja, you see their local government chairman. You know, immediately they share their allocation there in Abuja, the 12 parties, and that's what they do. You understand this? You know, unlike we in the southern part of the country where we have so many things that we do. So you can just imagine, Buhari spent 8 years, less than 2 years. Northerners are complaining of marginalization. Does that make sense?
Are they not marginalized?
At this stage, we must be fair. 8 years of northern presidents, less than 2 years. This issue of ADC coalition, they started, I think, 18 months or thereabouts ago. Less than a year of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They have been complaining about marginalization. What happened? And in the last 1 year, don't let me say to you, in the last 1 year, you know, like Bola said on the national television yesterday, that Nigerian governors are now back to the era of oil bloom.
Because there's a rider, hold on, there's a rider here, says net distribution to sub-national rose to 991 billion naira in June, from 458.8 billion naira in May 2023. So where is marginalization?
So what is that marginalization they are talking about? You know, Tinubu has done so well for Nigerian government. So if you cannot develop,
governors.
Not only Nigerian governors, including the northern governors. So if you cannot develop your states, should that be the problem of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? And if you look at the rollout of projects, you know, that this administration has embarked on in the last 2 years.
We have the Kaduna-Kano gauge rail line.
You understand the Magaba, the Sokoto highway and all the stuff. It has been, the project has been balanced. It has been the equation of projects across the country. But of course, I understand, as a political student and a political observer, I understand that, you know, our brothers from that side of the country, you know, they love power. They love power, and that's what they've been doing. And if you go and read history, you see there that, you know, our brothers, they always love to be in charge, you know, to be president of Nigeria. But I think it is important for them to be patient for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Not even President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for the southern part of the country. You know, we are talking of power rotation. Let the South complete their 80 years. And we now have less than 6 years. They will come back in the next 6 years. And all these, who is marginalizing who? They have their governors, they are collecting their allocations. The president is encouraging them to go and develop their state. And President Buhari was there for 8 years. You know, in this part of the country, the South, nobody is complaining of marginalization. So why now that less than 2 years into the government of a southern president, they are complaining of marginalization? People will just be looking at them as if they don't really know what they're saying. All
right, thank you so much, Leko Shobowale, for sharing your thoughts on what the papers are saying this morning on the program Daybreak Live on Dominion Television. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, do well to join us tomorrow for another fresh episode of newspaper headlines and analysis on the program. My name is Pat Aitu. Of course, coming up next is Big Story with Samson Balogun. Stay tuned.
Ever dreamed of creating the next virus series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class, it's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV, make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Good morning and welcome to The Big Story on Daybreak Live. Your early pulse on the politics. I welcome you once again, and this is The Big Story, where we scratch beyond the surface and bring you interesting facts you need to know. We go politics, we talk about things that really matter to average Nigerians. Samson Balogun is my name. I have with me in the studio this morning someone of great importance. Today, our focus is on the crack in the APC, in the All Progressives Congress, Nigeria's political powerhouse, now wrestling with the width of its own success. From leadership rifts to internal factionalism, from zoning disputes to bitter succession battles, we ask, can the APC survive the storms within its own camp? This is APC, power, struggles, and political survivor. All right. The APC came to power in 2015 on the promise of unity, reform, and change. But nearly a decade later, the party finds itself entangled in a web of internal crises, bruising ego clashes, unresolved zoning formulas, and regional power blocks, strengthening its cohesion. From the national level to the state, we have witnessed governors at odds with party chairmen, lawmakers rebelling against godfathers, and factions fighting for dominance in what many describe as a party without a core ideology, only a common goal: retain power. Behind the polished public statements are deep fault lines, embers of power contest already igniting ahead of 2027. So this morning, we delve deep, spotlighting the dynamics within the APC, the actors jockeying for control, and what it all means for the stability of Nigeria's ruling party, and indeed, the country. I won't be doing this alone this morning. I have someone who knows so much about the APC. He is the Southwest Zonal Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress. Also, he is also the National General Secretary of the Afenifere Renewal Group, ARG. Is also a member of the Board of Trustees of the Yoruba Academy. With him, we'll be making sense of this crack in the APC. Good to have you in the studio, Ayafolabi.
It's my pleasure being with you this morning. And let me take you on straight away. You were talking of cracks in the APC. I cannot see those cracks.
I want to ask you this question.
I think it's more of your own imagination.
Is there a crack in the APC?
There's none. That's what I'm telling you.
But members of the political party are leaving the party.
Don't forget.
Rauf Aregbesola has left the party. Rotimi Amechi has left the party. Okay. They are forming the ADC ahead of the next election. Is your party scared?
So, how can we be scared? We are a very solid party that has relied on its own strength, because to the generality of the party members, there is what you call in human relations. There's what you call when you have societies or groups. There's what you do if you belong to that group. if you don't belong to the group in terms of its ideologies, in terms of its beliefs, in terms of the execution of those beliefs and ideology, what happens is that it's best for you to move out. And so it's better to move out if they are not part of what the generality of the members of that group believe in. And that is exactly what is happening. The best thing is to have a cohesive organization where those who have the same focus for that organization to achieve its aim and objectives. Rauf Aregbesola, what has he taken out of the APC? I don't see it. And you'll be surprised at the next governorship election in Osun State, where it will be shown.
But without his support in Osun in the last election, the APC lost.
That is not correct. You people,
so what happened?
What happened? What is the percentage of that loss? That's one. Two, Aregbesola was nowhere between us and the PDP at that time. But because certain mistakes and rigging were done in favor of the incumbent governor in Osun State, that was why we lost. And we took it in good faith. Go ahead, we'll remain in opposition. And go and find out today in Osun State, we are in opposition. And people are massing into that opposition in Osun State. You have out of 3 senators, 2 have come into APC. Out of 9 House of Rep members, 6 have become to APC. The numbers of those from the House of Assembly is growing on a daily basis. So why don't you wait and see? And that is apart from people you can regard as the political leaders. Alhaji Shuaibu Oyedokun from Odoti. And Alhaji Shuaibu Oyedokun is a national, a member of the national organization of those who backed PDP. They are all in APC now. So what is happening? No. How can when you are in government and people are moving from your party into the opposition?
Some say the negotiation between the current governor of Osun State and the APC is that he wins and returns as governor, but of course he delivers the vote for the president ahead of the next election. Is that true?
He tried to do that, but the APC said, no, you cannot do that. If you want to come in, you come in as an individual right from your ward. And when you get into our own end, and you are interested in any particular position, you fight for it like any other member of the party. Of course, he doesn't want to do that. He wanted to be conferred from outside to become the governor of APC in Osun State. And in any case, we are not used to his dancing styles in the APC.
So you are one of those who believe he's a dancing senator?
I haven't said that.
He's a dancing governor.
I haven't said that. You have said that.
I'm asking.
But what I'm saying is, we are not part of the dancing styles.
So the APC does not want a dancing governor?
We didn't say that. We are saying we are not part of his dancing styles because we don't just dance without any reason. If we must dance, we must have a joyful reason to be able to show that this is who we are, this is what we are rejoicing about.
Now, before I go back
to... Not at the sound of anything drum, you start dancing. No, we are not part of that.
Before I go back to the main discussion,
yes,
an overview, a quick overview of Governor Ademola Adeleke's performance so far as governor of Osun State.
Yes.
What would you say about that?
He has nothing to show for it.
On a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is poor, 10 is great.
I'll give him 2.
2?
Yes.
He has performed woefully.
Woefully.
That's a bold claim.
Yes. He has performed very woefully. A governor who cannot come to address the citizens of the state.
He's been paying salaries.
Salaries. So salary is the main thing for which he became governor. Is that what you're saying? There are so many things to do.
There was a governor that paid half salary, but he's been paying salaries in Osun State.
Well, how did they come to be paying those salaries? Not for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu scraping the fuel subsidy, which increased the revenue that goes to the government. You remember that during the Buhari regime and even subsequent regime before Buhari, Jonathan and co, the mafia that was in the petroleum industry essentially were making this nation, and so no revenue, not much revenue was coming into the covers of the federal of the government of the federation, with the result that what gets to each state was paltry, and so those governments couldn't pay. And it wasn't only Osun State that couldn't pay at that time. There were some other states. Now tell me which state is not being able to pay his salary now. Is what the Generality can do that you can do? You have nothing special to show for your people in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of development, human development. You have nothing to show for it. The youths are many roaming the streets of Osun State, and he has no human development indices that he could parade before the people.
Now, going back to the topic of discourse, would you say the merger that formed the APC in 2013 was more of an alliance of convenience than a coalition of ideology? If we can have people like Rotimi Amechi leaving the party now just because they feel they are no longer part of the system.
Yeah, you see, with Rotimi Amechi, and some of those people you are referring
Nasir El-Rufai too.
And El-Rufai, ambition is the driving force. And if ambition is your driving force, and you have any vacancy, it's only one person that could stay on that vacancy. Everybody cannot be there. And as far as we are concerned in the APC, put the best man for the best job. We will not, because you've made a political name and because you must ever be retained in that position. Look, right from Obasanjo's period, El-Rufai had been in government. Am I right?
That's true.
He had been in government. Let him rest a little. Let him see the way others who are not opportune, because it's a question of opportunity, who are not opportune when he had been there. Let them try it. So he couldn't wait. He must be paraded every time at government positions. The same thing is true of Rauf Aregbesola. He started as a commissioner for works and infrastructure in Lagos, and then from there he moved, after leaving that position for 8 years plus, he moved to Osun State, and in Osun State another 8 years, and he left there another 4 years as a minister. Abba. So must Asiwaju now put you again up as a minister, as if there are no other Nigerians who are capable or who are more qualified or who have what it takes to achieve better than they do. We must be careful. What are we gunning for? We want to improve the nation. Look, I'll give you an example. Bumi, the Minister of Internal Affairs,
Olubunmi
Tunji Ojo, for 4 years, Rauf was Minister of Internal Affairs. We knew the problem Nigerians had with their international travel passports. For less than 9 months, Olubunmi Ojo eased all the problems with the immigration international travel passport. You are witnesses to it. It takes you less than a week to get your international passport now. And
I was about to come to that.
Years.
Last week, there was a publication that Nigerian passport has gained more strength on the international scene, now 88 in the world.
Okay.
Now, people started comparing Rauf Aregbesola with Olubunmi Tunji Ojo.
Yes.
And some claimed that he was Minister of Public Holidays when he was Minister of Interior. Are you of the same school of thought?
Of course, that was the only thing that we could record against him as
Under his watch, there were prison breaks in Nigeria.
Yes, yes, there were prison breaks. We all know. How many times have you had it repeating itself? Yes, you have one or two, but it has gone down drastically, and you don't hear of prison breaks again. And it's the same Ministry of Internal Affairs. So what are you talking? We should rather thank Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for giving the chance to another young Nigerian, and that is taking care of the youths, for giving another young Nigerian the opportunity to be able to perform.
Now, how would you describe President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's relationship with some or all of the APC power blocks as we speak around the country, all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory?
Power blocks. I don't know what you mean by power blocks. But if you are talking of his relationship with individuals, with centers of influence, he is approachable. He has an open door policy that you could walk in and tell him the way you feel. And you could see even some of the people, even within the FEC, Ndume.
Ali Ndume.
Ali Ndume.
He was on national television saying there are some people who blocked him from seeing the president. Is that true?
That is not true. Ali Ndume has been in the Senate for how long now? Ali Ndume is a member of the FEC. He wanted to be seen and to be known to be performing. And there are ways to do it by criticizing those you think will attract attention. And that is what Ali Ndume will do. Ali Ndume, you say, is in APC. But you see Ali Ndume has never left the party. Abi?
He's still in the party.
He's still in the party. And he has never threatened.
But he has stopped talking. What happened?
I wouldn't know. I think you better ask him that. He knows where he stopped talking. But he talked barely 3 weeks ago.
Not as much as he used to do. He was virtually on national TV every day, say one thing or the other about the administration, about the president. But all of a sudden,
nobody has stopped him. And we haven't gone to the media house. This is a media house. Has he come here to tell you they've stopped me? No. He determines what he wants to talk. But the moment a person realizes that he's getting the negative response from his talks, he will review himself. And that is what Ali Ndume is doing now. He's reviewing his own approach, whether it has achieved any purpose at all or none.
Now, let's talk about the Southwest agenda.
Thank you very much.
When Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was to become president,
yes,
power was shifting from the north down to the south.
Yes.
And Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu gained prominence then.
Yes.
He became president.
Yes.
There's a scenario being pushed by the PDP.
Yes.
Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State. His posters are there. If you move right there, outside there's a poster, Seyi Makinde for president.
Yes.
Is your party scared of his popularity ahead of the next election?
You can see, I chuckle at such insinuations. Seyi Makinde and Asiwaju Bola Tinubu.
He's from the Southwest.
He's from
he
the
could
Southwest.
gain public sympathy, get votes.
Oh, let's see him run the race. We welcome him. It will be a good idea if Seyi Makinde will come on the race, and then we will see who is in charge. Kálukú mọ bí oko bàbá ẹ̀ dé. Kálukú mọ bí oko bàbá ẹ̀ dé. You are comparing an ant to an elephant. Let them go on the field.
Some call Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu what we call the magician, the political magician. Is that true?
Well, why do they call him the political magician? It's because he has done quite a lot that people believe it wouldn't have been possible for anybody to carry out. In terms of the achievement in office, look at what he has done with the Nigerian currency. Before President Buhari left state, the economy was really in shambles. And it wasn't Buhari's fault. It had started going down the slope over the years until he got to Buhari. But by the time he got to Buhari, Emefiele was printing the Nigerian currency without having to back it up in terms of productivity and trying to save it from the dollar, which was very wrong economically. But thank God, Tinubu came online and he has changed the trend. And the Naira is becoming low. At the time Tinubu took over, the Naira was going to change for 2,000 pieces to $1. But we thank God today, we still have it oscillating around 1,500. And it was because Tinubu came into the economy and got the right people into the central bank, into the Ministry of Finance, and into all aspects that has to do with the fiscal policy. Okay? Remove that. Look at what he had done with education. People are finding it difficult to pay school fees. And he introduced the system whereby every student have the opportunity in the tertiary institutions to be able to take a loan from the federal government, TED fund, NEL fund, and take a loan to be able to sustain the education and pay much after which is the American standard too. Okay? Look at the infrastructure. Look at what the Minister of Works had done in terms of the road. Look at this, the Nigerian coastal road that have been opened up. Look at the Badagry Sokoto Expressway that had started. That road the project had been on for more than 20, 25 years before Tinubu came on board. It was during the military era. Okay? Now, the whole thing is revived and is coming up again. The only area at which we all Nigerians can see is the area of electricity. And they're already addressing it with Adelabu there. It's still difficult because it's not, you have to put certain infrastructures in place to be able to get electricity to everybody. And that is the only problem that is there. Because you cannot get there one day. It has to take years to manufacture the equipment you need, then to bring it in, to install, and to get it going.
Now, let's talk about the likely permutation in the APC ahead of 2027. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje steps down as the chairman of the APC.
Yes.
On health grounds.
Yes.
But a few days later,
yes,
he was unveiled as the chairman of FAN.
Yes.
Of course, a new chairman has emerged for the APC, and that's from North Central.
Yes.
Is there a chance that Asiwaju will drop Shettima ahead of the next election? Not forgetting that there is a chance that Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso will join the APC. It is being muted. There are rumors in town that there is a chance Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso will join the APC.
I don't speculate, because all you have said, there's a lot of speculation in it.
But you have heard it before.
I've heard it, but it's speculation. It's speculation in the sense that, one, Rabiu Kwankwaso had never been a member of the party. Less than a week ago, he was criticizing the APC and the president. I'm sure you are aware.
Absolutely right.
So if he was doing that, will Mr. President be able to bring somebody who cannot see the good work he is doing to be his immediate subordinate? That's number one. Number two, the president has never at any time stopped Shettima from performing his duties as the vice president. Up to yesterday, he was still the prime on television representing Nigeria in a program outside Nigeria. And it was like, hey, this is somebody standing in for Mr. President. So where does the argument come up that he was going to be changed?
Okay.
He has never indicated that. But in any case, whoever is the presidential candidate at the end of the day has the overall decision to say, hey, my party, this is the person I need as my vice presidential candidate. Just like it will happen with the governors. Okay? But there's no need for our speculations yet because we haven't gotten to that. This government still have close to 2 years to be able to get to that.
All right. Some party members allege marginalization, especially from the legacy CPC and AMPP blocs. How credible is this claim?
Marginalization, I don't know in terms of what, but if it's in terms of appointment and positions, the reality is you cannot put everybody within the party into positions at the same time. You have to keep trying, and then the benefits. Look, I have a position that even without having any position in government, I am a member of the party and that I could walk into the national headquarters and request to see any of the officers of the party. I could walk into any federal ministry and request to see any of the ministers and other political advisors. Is enough joy for me. It doesn't end with everybody having to pick positions. No, and it's not possible anyway. Some people have to run the government, and that is based on competence and the ability to deliver the goods, which the president will have determined. So if that was so, some people will naturally feel, I've not been considered. But it's a question of time. It could rotate to somebody else. Who got to know Bumi Ojo some 4 or 5 years back that he could deliver? He was one of the critics of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Today, he's a minister under Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he's delivering. That is the kind of government we want to be seeing. Pick the right people, the square peg into the square hole. That way, we can move forward, and everybody can enjoy the benefits in terms of performance that will benefit most Nigerians.
Now, does the APC currently have a cohesive national agenda, or individual ambition is taken over in some places in the APC?
I don't know those places where they have individual agenda. I know.
Are there people in the APC that are over ambitious?
Well, I can see those who are over ambitious moving up to other political parties. And you have listed them anyway. There was a time when, during Buhari's government, and because Atiku saw that there was no way he could contest the second term election with Buhari, he moved out. At that time too, Saraki moved out. In the current dispensation, Rotimi Amechi was with us until recently, when he saw that he would not be able to stand election with Tinubu on the saddle. And so he moved out to join the ADC, Association of Dead. I don't want to complete that.
You don't want to complete that?
I don't want to complete that.
Okay.
And so you have those who will move out to fulfill their,
are there still members of the APC?
To attempt to fulfill their ambition.
Are there still members of the APC who are still currently in the APC that stand a chance of leaving the party before the 2027 election?
I wouldn't know, because it's an individual thing. It's a decision. Some of us, like myself, right from inception, the AD days, AD, AC, ACN, APC, I've never moved an inch, even when I wasn't holding party positions. Okay? So it's a personal decision. If you want to move and follow your mind, hey, you are free to do it. And that's what we are saying. You see, it's free joiner, free exit.
The current recent party leadership shake-up and changes in the APC,
yes,
are there signs of reform or a way of tightening of control in the APC?
I don't know what you mean by tightening of control or
maybe the president is trying to have control of the political party ahead of the election.
No, he couldn't have been, because the president had nothing to do with Ganduje putting up a letter to say, oh, I want to resign.
But he gave him another appointment almost immediately.
When you consider the demands of the other appointment in relation
to what he goes through as the APC chairman.
As APC chairman, compare FAN to having to attend to all members of the APC throughout the country. And because the party is more of human interaction, you cannot document it. Human interaction means there will always be crisis. There will always be complaints. There will always be struggling for positions. That is human interaction for you. And it's within the parties. Tell me, how do you compare that to a structured organization like the FAN? The FAN will give him enough time to be resting, doing the job, because it's already structured in one direction, and there are laws guiding every movement of it.
Now, let's talk about the coalition and the ADC.
Yes.
With the caliber of people in the system, in the coalition, do you see that party having another crack? Even
in another 6 months, there won't be any ADC. I can tell you that. There won't be, because all of them who are gathered there are for their own selfish ambitions. Atiku is there. He left PDP because he knew he would not be able to get the presidential ticket to contest the next election. Rotimi Amechi left APC because he knew he could not stand
the primaries against
Asiwaju. You know what had happened to Rauf. I don't have to say that. Okay? Who again?
What if Nigerians don't know?
What
if Nigerians don't know what happened between
them? They
them?
know. Everybody knows. And look at Tam David West. Tam David West for how many years had been the president of the Senate. He wants to come out now. What did he achieve when he was president of the Senate?
That was David Mark.
That was David Mark. What did he achieve? He had nothing to show for all the years he was president of the Senate. He was even defeated in his own
senatorial district.
In his own senatorial district. So what else? What are we talking about? So given the circumstance, there is no way that party will last. Rotimi Amechi has launched his own presidential ambition. Obi has told us he will never be a running mate to anybody. So
there are insinuations that Peter Obi might leave the Labour Party and go back to the PDP to get the ticket.
And let's wait until that. I am not part of it.
If you look at the PDP today, the whole structure of the PDP,
yes,
who do you see that might get the ticket ahead of 2027?
Well, the only voice I hear are a few people. You have Sheyi Makinde from Oyo State here, who had remained in PDP, which is consistent with being a political party. I haven't seen anybody in the South who will be able to stand. Maybe if we go to the Southeast, maybe we will have some people coming up, but they haven't really come up. Maybe if we go to South, we haven't seen them come up. In fact, virtually all the South states are already in the APC because they believed in the achievements that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu had garnered, and they believe they all need to support him to be able to achieve more in the second term before leaving the baton for others to carry on.
All right, before I go back to the Southwest agenda,
yes,
I want to ask you this question. Nyesom Wike is a member of the PDP.
Yes.
A card-carrying member of the PDP.
Yes.
He's an appointee under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yes.
He's the landlord of the FCT as we speak, minister of the FCT,
Yes.
is in Nyesom Wike helping you destroy the PDP?
I am not aware of that. I am not aware of that. If he's destroying the PDP will have been able to take action against him.
They have not been able to remove him from the party. He has been there.
It is because he has been contributing positively to the development of PDP.
While in the APC. Why?
He is not in the APC.
Does it mean that
He's not a member of the APC. Look, you are drawing an analogy between being in government and being in the party, and that is not correct. In the past, we had my late uncle, Uncle Bola Ige, being a member of AD and working in Obasanjo's government, which was PDP.
Some say
So
when you are
it's
eating.
not strange.
Some say when you are eating, you don't talk. That means the person has table manners. Does Nyesom Wike have table manners with the APC?
Oh, I haven't heard that about table manners. Table manners is eating. What is he eating?
I'm asking.
No,
he has
that's
been given
why
an appointment with
you
the
said
APC. Doesn't mean he has been given a job.
No. When you said he's eating, I don't know what he's eating and I don't know where he's eating. But if you now say he's eating, then you must be able to tell us and Nigerians what he is eating. But I am not aware of that. I know the president has given him an assignment and is living up to the demands of that assignment. Okay?
All right. Let's go back to the Southwest agenda.
Yes.
Let's go back to Osun State.
Yes.
If Adeleke tomorrow does what your party says he should do, will he still win the election in Osun State if he's a member of the APC?
Our party cannot tell Adeleke to do what.
You have asked him to go and register as a member of the APC at the unit level, down to ward level.
If he goes to render, then it means he will have resigned his membership of the PDP.
But if he eventually does all that,
If he
will he
doesn't,
win the election
I cannot.
under the banner of the APC?
He will look at his own popularity within the party he's joining. Is to determine that. It's not for me to say we will do it. No, there are other contestants and aspirants within the APC. With my involvement in the APC in Osun State, I know as of today we have about 12 aspirants. So he will slug it out with them.
All right, very quickly before I go, let me ask you this last question. What steps can the APC take to rebuild unity and restore confidence among its members?
Part of what we are trying to do is what you're seeing playing out in terms of picking. For example, there have been a lot of cries and agitation that the position of ab initio, the position of national chairman was zoned to
the North Central.
To the North Central. Now it's been brought back to the North Central. And you can see the North Central people reacting joyously to that. And that is it. And so we will continue looking at where there are problems, address those problems, and get people to move together.
Thank you for joining us on the show this morning. It has been a wonderful session with you. We do hope that next time we'll call you, you'll be here.
I rather want to thank you for giving me the opportunity of being able to interact with you and Nigerians. But then I look for other days.
Thank you
so much. I know you won this morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, I have been speaking with Ayo Afolabi. He is the Southwest Zonal Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, APC. Also, he is the National General Secretary of the Afenifere Renewal Group, ARG. He is a man of many caps. And of course, he is also a member of the Board of Trustees of the Yoruba Academy. He's going to be here one more time, and we are going to have a very interesting conversation as regards the APC in Nigeria. But of course, as the APC tries to steady its ship amid mounting internal pressure, one question lingers. Is this just the normal turbulence of power? Or are we witnessing the unraveling of a political experiment? Whatever the answer, Nigerians are watching, and the future of governance may well hinge on how the party navigates these fault lines. That's the big story this morning on Daybreak Live. Thank you for staying with us. Same time tomorrow, we'll be back with another issue that shapes our national conversation. I am Samson Balogun, and you have been watching Daybreak Live on Dominion Television. Let's go on a short break, and when we return, We go straight to Trend Watch this morning. We'll be back after this time out.
Ever dreamed of creating the next viral series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class. It's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV. Make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
All right, welcome back from that short break. The show is still Daybreak Live right here on Dominion Television, your channel of choice. We are inspiration, meets entertainment. Now we go straight to Trend Watch this morning. And as you know, I don't do this alone. I still have with me Pat Aito in the building where together we'll be making sense of, what's trending on social media. You said? We will not be doing this alone. Okay, interestingly, Omoyele Sowore is in.
It's okay.
And he's been saying so much. Do not forget that recently he led a protest to the police headquarters saying Nigerian police officers, especially retired ones, have not been done justice, that so much is going on. And then the president went ahead to award $100,000 each to Super Falcons players who actually came home with the title. And then he's saying, look, if you can do these two Super Falcons players who have you played, I think, 6-7 games, and then they are getting $100,000, aside from other benefits that comes with it, you should do well by making sure that police officers are well treated. Now, let me take what he said. He said, truly, Nigerian police has not been done justice. Super Falcons won the WAFCON Women's Cup, spent 1 year training, spent 1 month playing, and were awarded $100,000, 150 million naira with homies. So, but police officers have been protecting them for years, escorting them from the airport to Aso Rock, also spending 35 years serving the country. But when they retired, they were paid $15,000 each, 2 million naira. No housing, no health care, and pension is not broken. But how many presidents and governors do they get? Gratuity worth $1 billion, collection of houses and places with enough, well, he's not mentioning that, and we will not be doing that. Justice should be done
to the people.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I think with so many people have been talking about it, this money given to the Super Falcons, they only come in papers. Before those people, I mean the Falcons, the Super Falcons will get that money. Some people have been clamoring. That's another angle, not the way Sowore is even looking at it now. Some people will tell you that before they get the cash, before they get the money, it will take them lots. I mean, there were 1998, somebody referred to 1998 or 1994, thereabout, saying that, well, they were gifted some monies, and before they could get that, was just like maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Just a few days ago, Chioma Ajunwa, since all the years, was awarded by the Lagos State government. So it shows that has not been rosy with gifts in Nigeria. So when they say,
because if you see some of them, they will come. I think there was a colleague with Felix Owolabi talking about that man. I can't remember his name now, where he wasn't taken care of, and he has let so many leagues here in Nigeria. So they too have their own issues. You can be saying that, oh, you're gifting them, they're giving them homes, they're awarding properties in their names and thereabouts. But there are so many things on the two issues are there, which they are not known to people. We're like, oh, I have a friend there. Do you understand? And I remember I called somebody and said, they were expecting her to come to one station that the person that's sending you, and I was like, she has not collected it. It's just something that they just say, oh, this is it, this is it. Well then, you're actually saying something here, but don't forget that when they were there too, they had their own fair share.
Of course,
so they did not make use of it. Let me just put it that way.
All right, very quickly we'll go on a short break. And when we return, Trend Watch continues. And then after that, we'll bring the show to a close. We'll be back after this time out.
Ever dreamed of creating the next viral series or telling powerful stories on the big screen? This summer, your passion for TV can become a reality. Our TV Practical Summer Class is calling all future scriptwriters, producers, directors, video editors, reporters, news editors, and on-air personalities. Get hands-on training from industry professionals. Learn to shoot with professional cameras, master editing software, and produce your own content from start to finish. This isn't just a class. It's your launch pad. Don't just watch TV, make it. Enroll now. Spaces are limited. Visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng or call the number 0706 777 9435 0706 777 9435. Dominion Television, your channel.
All right, welcome back from that short break. The show is still Daybreak Live right here on Dominion Television. Now, of course, we have been talking about Omoyele Soworo's comments as regards gifts given to our Super Falcons players. And then there are comments. But then I want to just say this very quickly. You cannot compare people in the sporting arena to, police officers. They are two different things. What they do is a lucrative business. And then when they are awarded, that sum of money, it shows that that's in line with what they do. The only thing we can fight for is that there should be a reform in the police sector. And then our police officers and paramilitary officers, let me put it that way, are treated fairly and justly.
And that's why we have this PSC, and we have somebody that is heading that commission.
So that should be directed to the Police Service Commission, and then onward to the National Assembly and to the President for accent if there are changes to be made as regards the police reform in the country. But then if you want to, let's take this comment. Okay. I think Constance Ebere says, can we talk about the poor treatment of police officers without dragging the Super Falcons into it? I mean, people say a lot.
Their win is a separate moment of national pride. One injustice does not have to cancel out another. Both deserve attention. Right. And another one here, MC Mighty. Says, if the police force personnel are always in the best character, it will be the public championing the schools. But the illegalities are much. Hence, while government can get away with their harsh treatment, it's a sad situation. I was
talking to an activist, I think that was the day before yesterday, and he said, I will never be at the front fighting for the police because of what they have done to me. I was like, oh, but it's your job to actually fight for people, let their voices be heard, and like you said,
the police officers, some of them are steps on tools, and so some of them were like, even if Sowore, there was a time he was arrested, so he just feel like, oh, because
recently his glasses was removed at a protest. I think, not long ago. So it tells you that at one point or the other, the police have done some things to some people, and then when it is time for these people to actually speak on their behalf, they are skeptical because they felt, at one point or the other, the police actually.
If they have been good to us as Nigerians, I mean, we are the one that should be fighting for them, and not the other way around. Right. Well, this is the convenient time for us to say thank you so much for being part of the show this morning on the program Daybreak Live on Dominion Television. My name is Pat Aita, saying join us tomorrow for Daybreak Extra with myself, Samson Balogu, and Uluwayemi Adilako. Good morning.
Well, the sun is new each day, so there's a new sun today. Get things done the right way. Samson Balogu is my name. Until tomorrow when we shall be meeting again on this show, Daybreak Live Extra. I say keep being good, keep being safe out there. Bye for now.